What is up, guys? So today I'm going to be ceramic coating the wrap on the wing that I did. I'll show it to you in a second. I'm going to be using Dr. Beasley's. Supposedly he's the #1 person for matte film or matte wrap. So it should work out pretty good. It's highly rated. So I'm going to be doing a film cleanser and then film prep and then a ceramic coat onto the forged carbon wrap that I did. So I'm going to start with the wing, and then eventually when I do each piece on the car, I will do each part on the car. So let's get into it. Alright, so I just gave you an overview of some of the products that we'll be using. So as you can see as well, you kind of have like 3 steps on here, and each bottle shows you what step is what. So there's step 1 is cleaning the film. Then this is kind of like setting the film up to prep to let the ceramic coating stick, and then you have the ceramic coating. So there's your 3. And then the box comes with this guy and then some sheets, which you can wrap this around here, or you can just buy this for like $1 or $2, and this is this built into it basically. So this is inside of this with basically this cloth on the outside, just it's microfiber basically instead. And so I'll be using this as an applicator pad to then put onto the wing and apply everything. The next few things would be some gloves. Doesn't really matter what kind. I just feel like it's better to not contaminate this best you can with any oils that you have on your hands. And then you'll need 1 or 2 microfiber cloths to dry it off and apply, etc. as you're doing it. So let's get started on the process. Alright guys, so I'll go ahead and put this glove on. So as you do this, you don't want any of these coatings to dry. You want to be able to wipe it off in time. You're only going to let each one sit on for just a minute or 2, or max of 3 minutes. If you want like a full instructional video, that's really good. On their website for Dr. Beasley's, they will show you how to apply basically everything that I'm doing here. So it is very, very easy. All right. So first, you are going to just start on one side and then kind of work the product in. And same thing like they say on their videos, like, yes, it starts to look as if it's not matte anymore. That's because it's wet, and that is the only reason. So what I'm doing now is just, it hasn't even been out in the outside yet, this wing, since I've wrapped it. But it could have any contaminants on it. Might have some dust on it. Anything that could cause anything to cause it to get dirty. So basically I'm just trying to make sure that the surface is as clean as possible, and that way when you go to ceramic coat it, the coating will stick and there will be no issues. So the cleaner and the more prep you have, the better. And it's a little noisy because the rivets that I had to take off the wing are stuck inside the wing because there's nowhere for them to come out. So we got a little jingle inside the wing, which, you know, obviously while you're driving, most likely will not be able to hear it, especially with the exhaust or turbo or intake noises. So should be good on that aspect. Basically, after I get the ceramic coated, the next step will be redoing all the rivets and a wing to get the bracket back on. And then once we get the bracket on, I can then put it back onto the car. As you're doing this once in a while, just fold the towel over so you're not using the same side the whole time. Alright, so the next thing that you want to do once you kind of have it washed off in a way, if you're starting from step one though, and this was already on the car for a little while and you're driving, then you'd wash the car first and then you'd start these 3 steps. This is kind of just after. I could skip that step because of it hasn't even been on the car or even outside, it's just been inside the house. So it's already clean. We're just getting basically any fingerprints, dust, etc. off, and starting from there. So now next thing you're going to do is, once you use this cleaner, you kind of want to go over the wing or whatever piece you're doing and look for any high spots or spots that don't look like it's evenly distributed or clean. So get a flashlight or something and you're going to go over the whole wrap, and then start the next process. Alright guys, so just to go back over this, so let's get a little flashlight or something, just inspect it, make sure it all looks pretty good. I've already looked over this, but I'm just, for y'all's sake, that way you know kind of to do it. And then next thing is going to be this guy right here. It's going to be the matte film coating prep. So I believe, so for this, you just kind of want to do like a light spray. You're basically setting all the anchor points down for the ceramic coating. So you want to make sure that this is coated thoroughly and there's no dry spots or drips or areas where it looks like brushed. You want it to all look flat and pretty clean. That way, once you put the ceramic coating on, it doesn't show all those marks that you had from this potentially, or drying marks, etc. So since this is a small area, you can kind of just mist it, and you can kind of do most of it. If you're doing like a hood or something like that, you might want to do like half of the hood at a time. But again, that is your call. You don't want it to dry too quick. You want to make sure that you can get through it, and then after you get through it, go ahead and wipe it off with the other side of the towel. That way you have like a wet side and a dry side kind of. All right, and again, you're gonna want to do the light. This is where it becomes very important. Just looking for anything that, you know, kind of just does not look correct. Honestly, it looks pretty good. Sometimes you can have a high spot, etc. Since mine is kind of like a forged wrap and it's not just black, you might not be able to see those things as easy. So I'm just going to go back over it one more time, just to make sure that it has really good anchor points and setting. I'm just going to do half this time. And you're just misting it and then just basically rubbing over it. You're not really applying any pressure. Just kind of going over it and give it all the anchor points that you can possibly give it. Since it's a wrap, or the wing as well, trying to get the edges. And then flip it over. Just give it a nice wipe down. Again, not really applying any pressure or anything. Alright, and then we'll do the side. And even if, you know, you have some high spots, you can still correct them before you put the coating on. So I'm going to flip it right there. Alright, now we're going to go back with the light again and check it one more time. Flashlight, here we go. Again, you're just looking for any drip marks or rub marks, etc. that might just make the wrap look off and not the best. And if you do, then just grab the side that you've been kind of working with and just go back over it. That and a flip. Go over it once more. I believe it actually looks pretty good. Not the best light with the light behind me, but flashlight helps. So now once you're done with that, you are then going to prep for your ceramic coat. So normally there's tape around here. You tighten the bottle first. There's an eyedropper on here and that kind of sets it on there. And then you loosen it back and you will then take it off. As you can see, there's the eyedropper. I've already tightened it. So I already did that whole process, and that basically punctures it too. There's a little puncture pin inside there. Like nuts falling outside. So to do this, you're going to put about 6 to 8 drops in the middle and then 1 on each corner to start with to prep the pad. And then you're just going to basically, I don't have it on there, but you're basically just going to like draw a box and then fill the box in and then just keep moving down. And each area you just want it to wait about 3 minutes before you wipe it off. And so we'll do the whole top, and then let that dry for a few minutes, and then we will flip it and then do the other side. So yeah, let's get to it. Alright guys, so we're going to start with this. So as we said, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so I put a little bit more on than probably needed to. It wasn't coming out at first, but that's okay. So I'm going to come down over that, and then we're just going to fill it in. So as you can see, well, you might be able to see, it's getting very glossy right now, and that's okay. Like before I said, it's not because of it's going to be like this, it's just because of it is wet currently from the application, and that is the only thing that is causing it to be glossy. So that section is done, and so I'm going to put a few more drops now, not as many, and I'm just going to move down. Do another box, basically just doing a third of the wing at a time, and working your way through that box. Look at the sides. And remember, each section is going to be on there for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then you will wipe it off after that mark. And then you'll look again for any high spots. Come on. To see if anything does not look right. From what I can tell is I have it all covered. So I'm going to wait a few minutes, and then I'm going to come through with a dry towel and then wipe it off with no pressure, just wiping as we go to take it all off. Take whatever residue is off. Alright guys, so it's been a few minutes. You can always set a timer or just run your video until it looks like it's about that time. So I'm going to start on this side. I'm just going to, so it looks a little pretty, there we go. I'm just going to gently start wiping them down.
Of course, it's something you don't smell, it kills you. No. It's already on there? You're already buffing it, or what?
Yep.
Cool. Do you feel a difference between what was and what it is now?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I can see a difference. It's not quite as flat.
It's because it's still wet.
Oh, okay. But it definitely brings the detail out in the pattern too, though. You look for irregularities?
Uh-huh.
Is that your light or mine?
Yours.
You putting batteries in it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, good.
Still has the trouble working though.
It still doesn't always turn on?
Mm-hmm. You gotta kind of hit it.
Got you. Yeah, I don't know why. Saw a decent price on batteries, or at least I bought batteries. There's cold beers in the fridge if you want a cold beer.
Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and flip this guy. Then we're just going to repeat the process of the clean film cleanser process, and then we will do the matte coating prep, and then the matte film coating, which is a ceramic coating, once again. So I'm going to close that back up. I think it looks good on the other side, so we're going to go ahead and do this now, and then get this side coated. So we'll see how it goes. Alright guys, so I'm pretty much done now. I've coated both sides. So now you're just going to let it sit for a minimum of an hour to kind of let it harden, if you would say that. And then you're not going to want to wash this for about 2 weeks. You want it to get all the way through the film to the substrates as far as it can get, basically, so it can cure the whole wrap. That way it will do its job appropriately. And if it gets dust on it in the meantime, etc., just leave it alone. Don't worry about it. Just let it cure and leave it be. So saying that, since this is kind of touching the cardboard, I'm going to put the end plates of the wing on. That way it lifts it up, and so it'll cure in the air and nothing will be touching it or protruding it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with these little bolts real quick. Let that work, and then I'll let it cure for a week or two, and then I'll be installing it on the car after that. So now that is done and out of the way, he's going to let it sit and let it cure. So got the end plates back on, all the way down, and boom. So I'm going to let this cure for a while, and then I'll probably get something have some things that I can probably put there to kind of close that gap, because last time water got inside here, and probably like a gallon or two honestly came out from one of the drain sides, or there's another hole like right here on the side, and it was pouring out of there. So it took about a day to, I think, get all the water out. Make sure you get all the water out before you wrap, because if not, the water will destroy the wrap from the inside out. So, but yeah, that's it. You have videos on Dr. Beasley's website for the process as well. So just be careful with it, and it's a pretty easy process. Let it dry, let it cure, and then we'll see how it looks once it's back on the car. All right, guys. So I'm pretty sweaty and hot, but thanks for joining me. I'll be wrapping the other parts of the car and doing the same process. I'll probably video that as well, just so you have it. I'll go through the process multiple times, and we'll see how it turns out and if it protects as good as it should. So, all right, thank you, and peace.